What do you mean by deliberate play versus deliberate action? A
Practice. So these
practice. Yeah.
are these are just two old ideas out of peak performance. So Anders Ericsson is very famous in the peak performance world. The late Anders Ericsson, for Malcolm Gladwell wrote about the 10,000 hours to mastery. That was an error-ish based on something Anders Ericsson wrote about deliberate practice. Deliberate practice was for a very long time considered the royal road to skills mastery, and it's do the same thing over and over, repetition with incremental advancement, right, in very tight window. So it turns out that is really good for acquiring very narrow window of skills. Certain skills, it lends itself perfect. If you want to become a concert violinist, that's the way, right? That's a really great way to get there. But most other situations, deliberate play, which is repetition without repetition. So do the same thing you did before and just improv a little on top of it, tends to outperform deliberate practice. And for one simple reason, deliberate practice, so we get dopamine, reward chemical, deliberate practice only one way. If you did the exact thing you did before and pushed it a little bit further, you're going to get your dopamine reward. Deliberate play, as long as you don't do the exact same thing you did before and you improv a little bit in any direction, you're going to get a dopamine reward hit. So one, way more motivating as you go along because there's way more possibilities for being right. And you just get more neurochemicals. Play also releases a lot of endorphins. So you end up with these way more neurochemicals. It leads to much better skills acquisition and even better with play because there's no shame, no self-consciousness, and it's lighter and all that stuff. There's less norepinephrine in your system. With deliberate practice, I've got this tiny little thing where I can only get it right. There's a lot more, so it's a lot harder to get into flow. It's more difficult. So deliberate play tends to outperform deliberate practice.
I feel like if they're trying to be more strict and just tell you a lot of things, it's a lot easier for most people to learn when you're actually doing it and having fun doing it too. Like I think the fun part is actually a big part of it as well.
Huge. A good friend of mine, Catherine Price, wrote a great book called The Power of Fun. And that talks about like the role flow plays in fun and just its importance in learning, but it's a really big deal. It's a huge deal for peak performance aging. Like once you get into your 40s and beyond, play is a critical ingredient in the system that literally gets, squelched out of the system, and it's really important.